All right, Happy New Year to all our viewers and, of course, you at home watching us this moment. It feels good to be back. And I remember the last time we went off, I was in white. This year we're back, brand new energy, brand new, mentality for the new year. All the things that we've learned throughout, 2021, we're here to apply. My name is Rev, the Comedy Wavy Man on YFM. I'm the host of Y Leaderboard series. And, of course, your host for webinar, the most watched webinar in Ghana right now, the Ready to Work, powered by APSA, that's African City. So I'm joined in the studio by two personalities I'll introduce in a bit. But before we get into business, global changes in the use of technology and the nature of work have urgent implications, all right, for how we educate young people and prepare them for the labor market. So on our part of the world, a lot hasn't really gone into educating the young ones on how to really take up their careers, how to even prepare themselves. There's been efforts, but it's not really something we can really write home about. But for a while now, I can prove, I can give, validated proof that APSA has been a part of the drive to changing this situation. Now, employers all around the world, including Ghana, are looking for young and old people who are agile, they are flexible, they are able to work in groups, work with people who are special. We're no longer just finding people who have graduated, There should be an extra something to your being ready for the global, career markets. Now, the soft skills that are in there needed to equip the young ones to be special are not really out there that much. But APSA's Ready to Work platform over the year has really put a lot into ensuring that young people prepare themselves well to be able to fit in all domains of life, especially in getting the right career and, of course, staying in there, mastering it and all that. Now, APSA's Ready to Work toolkit was designed to, first and foremost, provide young people with the needed skills to help them transition from the world of education. That's from the first one we did, moving from where you studied or whatever it is that you studied straight into the career market, and of course, getting a good stand in there and solidifying your stance in there as well. So it's a platform that gives you money skills, it gives you info and entrepreneurial skills, people skills, work skills, and more. Now, today's webinar, as I mentioned, first one for the year is about, mastering the career world. So we've done so much about how to prepare yourself, what to look out for if you want to fit in. But now that you're in, how do you become a master in there? How do you solidify your position? How do you tell your environment that you're here to stay and you're really in for the business? Joining me on set today to break down the keys behind mastering your career, of course, giving the opportunity to ask the questions as well. Reverend Dr. Mrs. Bridget Ben-Naima is a counselor and director of the University of Ghana Center for Counseling, all right, Career Counseling Center. And she is passionate about young people and the youth development and guiding the youth in making the right career choices. Miss Sylvia Mbama is also a talent acquisition expert. I'm smiling about this. She's passionate about young people, youth development, and currently works as people business partner at APSA Ghana. So welcome, Doctor, and then Miss Mbama.
Thank you.
Weird thing is that Doctor was the first person I interviewed on here. I think when she joined us via Zoom.
Yes.
And then Ms. Mbama has also been on here. Her impact on the webinar, their impact on the Ready to Work platform has been immense. And so we decided to just bring them back to start off the year. Before we get into business, I want to find out your various impacts, or the impact of your work on youth development. Let me start with you, Doc.
Thank you very much. And thank you for having me here. It's always a joy to be collaborating with APSA on the Ready to Work platform.
Great.
So thank you very much. So as a counselor, working with other counselors at the Careers and Counseling Center of the University of Ghana, we are engaged in offering different forms of counseling services. We provide the psychosocial support for students, even as they engage in their research work, and not only students but staff, and sometimes we have people coming from outside the university. So we offer psychosocial support. We also organize career development programs for students as an extracurricular activity where they learn, the various soft skills that would help them in their career journeys. And of course, we also collaborate with organizations and companies like APSA, yes, to bring these lessons closer to the students. And also that gives them the chance to engage with industry and to assess their readiness for work. So those are some of the things we are engaged in, and it has a great impact on the young people that we work with.
I like that. Key emphasis on their readiness for work. That's what this whole platform is about. Sylvia, talk to us. What's the impact of your work on the youth?
So for us, I think Ready to Work is one of the impacts that we have on the youth. And as an HR business partner, core to what we do is to be involved in acquisition, which involves internships, graduate training programs, and all these things are geared towards the youth and the fresh graduates. So we partner with our MCR, which is the Ready to Work, to sometimes deliver on some of these programs. And then on the other hand, we work on internships, attachments, and then graduate training programs to support the youth.
So pretty much, if I'm not mistaken, you are involved in finding the right talents for the company,
Yes.
you know, seeing who are ready.
Yes.
Right, I think you're here for the right purpose. So let's begin the conversation, of course, on the entire idea of being ready for work. If I say someone is ready for work, or if I say I'm ready for work, who must I be? Or what comes together to give a person a tag ready to work? Doc.
Well, yeah, so one could have gone through university, coming out with, you know, it could even be a first class or with a master's degree, and might not be ready to work.
Okay.
So when we talk about being ready to work, we are referring to having the soft skills in addition to the qualifications that will help you to start well on your career path, and, you know, and stay there and succeed, you know, on your career path. Some of those soft skills include even understanding the terrain, the job market, understanding the trends, you know, during that person's particular period. Or it could be understanding your own skills and how to make good use of them. It has to do with, you know, how to brand yourself, you know, wherever you go, communication skills, problem solving skills, time management skills, you know, being ready to go to work without absenting yourself all the time, even being ready to learn from other people to develop yourself. Those are some of the skills that make you work ready. Okay, being self-motivated, for instance, ability to complete tasks, you know, on time. Those are the skills that will show that you are work ready. Even in your appearance, you know, how you dress up would show that you are ready for work. So it's about the soft skills that go along with your qualifications.
All right. So the things Doc just mentioned are the right skills you need to be able to say you are work ready. Doc is on the supply end, and then I think Ms. Sylvia is on the receiving end. So let me find out from you, okay? You've been in this business for a while. Generally, are young people in Ghana, I mean, let me just use our terrain, are young people in Ghana ready to work? Are they ready to work? You've come across a lot of them. People present their CVs, they come for the career fairs and the rest, but are people ready to work?
That's an interesting question. And so just like Doc said, to be ready for work means that you should have the requisite soft skills and be ready to join a particular organization. But from where I sit, most of our young graduates are not ready for work. In terms of even developing the right skills that the organizations are looking for, we still have some lapses in there. For instance, I know Doc mentioned communication skills and all that, but then the individual should also be self-motivated to want to join the organization. And that self-motivation is still not really up there. And then in terms of even working in teams, you have graduates coming in, and I think from them, from their angle, they just want to be rich. They just want to be that manager. They just want to get in there and just start rolling and having that big, huge downfall. Yeah. And so you compare them with the people that have the experience, and you see that, yes, they have great ideas, but when it comes to the soft skills and the attitudes that are right for you to be ready to grow, we still have some gaps.
You mentioned one thing that really caught my attention, the experience. You said you realize the ones that have the experience are doing better than that. We've discussed this on so many platforms. It's really out there. There's information that's out there. But how does one build experience? Let's say I'm doing biochemistry. These are courses that are time consuming. I barely even have time. I'm doing 7 years in there. During my internship periods or the times through which I can do my internship, I might have to do extra, work in terms of studies just so I can pass the papers and then get the good grades to present myself to fit the educational qualifications that I'm supposed to get. How do I build experience for someone who finds himself in a space like this?
I was thinking about this morning when I was coming, and I think it starts from you, the individual, and what you do. So you are reading biochemistry. Do you want to have a career in that angle? If you don't want to have a career in there, then you are in the wrong place for starters. So depending on where you want to grow into, you gain experience. Even when it comes to internships, you don't have to just choose in any place to go for internships. And that's how you gain your experiences. If I want to be a lawyer and I want to gain more experience and I want to go for internships, then I have to find some chamber and go and have my internship there. I don't necessarily, even if I'm coming to the banking sector like ABSA, that we have a law department, am I asking for the intern in the law department, or they should just throw me anywhere? And that's how you build your experiences.
Okay, I like that. Now, Doc, let me come back to you. A very, very important question in here. How do fresh graduates or ones that are still studying find the right career path? She just mentioned something very important, that if you assess where you are and the career aspirations that you have and they don't fit, it means you are at the wrong place. But I'm in here, I'm just studying. I'm doing economics, I'm doing human resource management. How do I find the right career path, or how do I know this is what I'm supposed to do?
Yeah. So before I answer that directly, just want to pick it up from where Sylvia ended.
Sure.
So many students go into the university and only focus on their academic work, thinking they want to do well, they want to have the A's, and so they don't take or seize the opportunity to learn anything else. And yet when you go into our institutions, there are many extracurricular activities going on. So it would be good for young people to make time actually to be engaged in some of these extracurricular activities. Some are related to career development, some are related to personal branding, some are related to identifying your strengths and your weaknesses and so on. And then, of course, the internships that Sylvia mentioned, they are very, very important. Some might be looking for, maybe companies or organizations that directly, are in line with what they are studying. But if you do not get that type, it's okay to go to any other company and then find out how what you are studying, has an impact on that company or whatever is going on there. And these opportunities give the young person ideas, that would even help the young person to begin to think about his or her career path, to begin to find out what he is interested in, what are his or her abilities, for instance. What are the things that he or she finds himself or herself doing well? What are the values? What are the things that actually are important to him or to her? For some people, counting money is even a value, because when they are doing that, they have a lot of satisfaction and so you would be able to tell when you engage with some of these opportunities that give you the experience. And you also need to understand your personality. Who are you as a person? What are you made of? How are you configured as a person? And what things are you able to do better? Are you able to work with people, or you are able to work with data? Are you able to work in teams, or you would rather work as an individual? All these things will help you to identify your career path. You could also even set some time aside to go through psychometric assessment, which helps to show, the areas in which you will do better in. And all these would help you in identifying your career path.
I like that. I like that. Thank you, Doc. Still on you. I think the last time we spoke, we discussed mainly the reasons why students generally shy away from coming to the counseling and guidance department. Is the situation changing? It's been close to a year. Are people now walking in to take charge of their career, to ask questions?
Yes, I think things have changed a great deal because people now understand that when you are coming to the counseling center, you are not just coming because you have maybe a mental problem, but you could come there because you need academic guidance, because you need career guidance. Some even come for relationship guidance.
That's their business.
Yes. So people understand that the Careers and Counseling Center is there to help in different ways, not just for psychosocial needs. But that is also very important because we are human beings. And we may not even understand what is going on with us emotionally, but sometimes all these things affect even our career choices and so on. So it's holistic, and we provide those services. And I think people are more aware about the services we provide. And collaborating with organizations like APSA exposes the center even more to other to students and people outside the university.
I think we'll do more. In the near future, I'm looking at a system where we can get to the point where it should be a part of our academics. And so just how you have to maybe have an extracurricular activity, maybe go pick up dancing or swimming. You might have to visit the counseling and guidance department maybe 2 times every semester to ensure you get some extra credits. We have to make it mandatory so that they can, because people are out there studying and still not getting ready. I mean, thanks to platforms like APSA's Ready to Work, people are now getting access to information that they won't regularly get access to. We'll talk about the way the counseling and guidance department is changing form to suit the new demands, especially with digitization and that. But back to Sylvia. Sylvia, let me ask you, so what should be the motivation behind picking a career objective? I'm a young guy, I just graduated. I've had my experience. If I decide to pick this career, what should be the reason why I'm picking this? Is it because I love it? Is it because it can pay me enough? Is it because my friends are there? Or is it because the society will say, okay, this is a banker with APSA? What do you think should motivate a young person to set career objectives?
I think, first of all, Doc has mentioned it, your interests.
Okay.
When we were small, sometimes you see a doctor and you're so thrilled.
Yeah, I want to be a doctor.
That I want to be a doctor, or you see a lawyer.
There's chemistry and physics in there.
Yeah, so the first step is for you to identify what excites you and you're comfortable with.
Yeah.
And once you identify that, and I always tell young people that there are some people that easily warm up with people, and because of that, you should know that anything that has that human face to it, you're going to do so well. And so it might not be specific that it's a doctor or it's a lawyer, but you know that any occupation that has that kind of warmth and being with people, you're going to do well in it because it comes natural with you. Then the second thing that you have to do in choosing the right path for yourself is to also identify, like you've mentioned motivation, so I don't want to use the word motivation again, but also do a little bit research. Okay, I want to work in the bank and do a research in the industry. How are bankers paid? How do they carry themselves? What kind of
dynamics of the industry?
What are the dynamics? Am I still going to be excited about it? Then you do a SWOT analysis of yourself and you check your strengths vis-a-vis your weakness, the opportunities and the threats. And I give myself this example that if you want to be a doctor, and let's say you want to, you're going to do surgeries, and sometimes are you somebody that is going to be scared? That is a threat. And so when you do all those balances and you do a lot of research into the industry and into the job itself, that will help you to take the first step to identifying what you can do. And then once you have done that, you know that what kind of education and experiences am I supposed to have in order for me to get there? What is the lifestyle of that CEO in Absa Bank? What is the lifestyle?
Does he have time for himself? Is he able to
yes, maneuver.
Exactly.
And one day I want to have a family. Do I want to be with my family all the time, or I want to be away, or I can be an expatriate? So all these are things that as a graduate you should find time and answer them. Once you answer them, you can put a short plan and a long-term plan, and that will guide you. So you are motivated by your interest first, and then you do the SWOT analysis and check the balances through research, of course, and that will help you to find the right fit for yourself in terms of your career.
Okay. Doc, do you ever come across young people, students who are still studying, or even graduates who have zero idea as to what to do? They're good, their academics are perfect, but they have zero ideas. They just wanted to pass, and they don't have any career plans. Do you ever come across such students?
Yes,
How
have.
do you deal with them?
Yes, we have many students, who find themselves in that kind of situation. And so you could find a student all the way in the last year, just about a few months to get out of university. He or she is doing very well, but then does not know where she's going or he's going. Yes, so that happens because they actually do not make time to find out, what their interests are, what their abilities are, what the possibilities are. Sylvia was stressing research. You have to, research.
Know the industry.
Know the industry. Even know what kinds of job opportunities are related to what you are studying. And that is one thing we find, happening. We have young people who have no idea about the career possibilities related to what they are studying. And I think that is very sad. So we would want to use this platform to encourage young people to actually make time. Once you are giving, it might be courses you did not choose. Okay, so once you are giving those courses, or even if they are courses you chose, just make time to do some research and find out what are the career possibilities related to this program. And then that begins to even motivate you to prepare for those career choices.
That would be a good driving force for that.
Exactly.
At least now you know the destination.
Exactly. You know where you are going. And so then, with the help of counselors, with the help of academic advisors, even sometimes with the help of your parents, with the help of your peers, you begin to identify, or narrow down the choice possibilities for yourself. And then you get onto that path. Yeah. So
I'm sure people are wondering at this point how or where Absa's ReadytoWork comes in, okay? So it's a platform that has all this information. I mean, Sylvia is here. Sylvia is an ample part of the team, and so we put plans in place to ensure that while you study, while you get the tips to become who you want to become in the career world, you also have the opportunity to self-assess, and see if you're actually on the right path. The platform is ready. It's open, www.readytowork.absa.africa. While you watch us now, you can actually get on there. But in the course of the show, I will tell you more about how you can take advantage of this opportunity. I mean, if you have time on your shoulder this year, even if you don't have time, there are spaces in between your being busy you can really use in bettering yourself. If you're in the career world already, there's still tips you need. You might be in the career world and still not be ready for work. You might find yourself in a space just because qualifications helped you get there, but then are you really ready to work? Absa has all the answers and, of course, the tips to ensure that we move you from where you are into where you are supposed to be with regards to the career world. Now, at this point, if you have questions, you can send them through. If you're on our Zoom, drop it in the comment box. If you're watching us on YouTube, drop it in there. If you're on Twitter, the hashtag is ReadytoWork. Mention Absa and get the questions in here. At this point, let's break some of the myths that are related to the career world. I'll come to you, Sylvia. You are in the field. Let's go to Doc. Doc is in the preparation field. When people come to meet you, what are some of the misconceptions they have about the career world you laugh at and correct them?
Well, I think the first one that comes to mind would be that there are some, because I'm in an educational institution, let me just start from there.
Yeah, that's right.
There are some courses that will not give you any career or will not lead you to any career.
Is that even a course?
There's no course like that. But yes, you know, you are talking about performing arts. Yes, and people have that misconception that, oh, when you are giving performing arts, it means that's the end. You have nowhere to go. But do you know, performing arts can be of use to people in different, you know, career fields, you know, because of the things that you are taught in that program. I don't want to go on to mention courses, but what I'm trying to say is that every course that you are given in any educational institution, be it a university, a college, whatever, you know, can lead you onto a career path. What you need to do is to find out how you could get there and which of the paths you would even get to. And that is what we, you know, students or young people actually need to spend time on. It doesn't come automatically. You have to make time to take those decisions. So that's one of the myths, that some courses will not lead you anywhere, but it is not true. Another that comes to mind is that everybody can be, or maybe every young person can be an entrepreneur. I don't think it's true. Because to be an entrepreneur, you have to be, you know, configured in a certain way. You have to be, have some kind of stamina. You have to be very creative. You have to be, you know, somebody who has that tenacity, very strong one, where when there is failure, you can go and then bounce back, you know. But not everybody has these kinds of skills. So it is not everybody who can be an entrepreneur. But there are some people who should be entrepreneurs but are seeking jobs. So we need to understand ourselves, especially in times like this when we are promoting entrepreneurship a lot. Let's just understand that it's not everybody who is cut for it. But of course, if you are cut for it, then it's the best way to go. I think those are the two myths that come to mind for me at this point.
All right, Sylvia, what are some of the misconceptions you hear? I mean, I wouldn't say you meet or you directly deal with, because I believe before someone even gets in contact with you for, let's say, a job interview, they really know what they're supposed to look out for. But I mean, you are in the career field. You go out and hear people talk about banking, you know, the deeps in there. People sit and say, oh, I heard that if you work with a bank, you're given suit allowance, all these things. What are some of the myths you hear about careers, different careers that you'd like to, you know, demystify at this point?
I think the first one that I want to stress on, because I really want our youth to look at that when I get in an organization, especially with millennials and Gen A, that the fact that I have ideas means that I should get certain positions. And that's a myth, because you need to be able to, you know, gain some experiences before an organization will find its fit to move you into the space that you are vouching for. And there's also the myth that once I get into the organization, I hear people say that I want an organization that grow their people. Of your organization, most organizations take learning and development very critical, but then the onus is on the individual. How am I taking my development into my own hands, even as a graduate, as I come in? Or I'm going to sit and say that they pick me as a graduate trainee, which means that I'm a first-class student, I'm an excellent student, and I've been picked. And so once I'm there, I deserve. There's this sense of ownership, entitlement, that I deserve to be in this position. And that does not allow them to gain the requisite experiences for them to grow. So you see that they get to some level and they're stuck, and then frustration sets in, and then they want to jump from one organization to the next organization, or run away from a department to another department, which is something that I think the youth should look out for that. I started work, I gave this example, I started work and I carried my laptop because I went to HSC, and we had network cables all over, and I went there with my laptop. And I joined the organization expecting that, oh, I've come from some nice place and I've entered into a nice place. And I was humbled. And I keep saying it, that you need humility in order to rise. And I was humbled. I was an HR administrator in those times. I used to file, and sometimes I have to lie on the floor to look for the files and to grow into it. And so if you don't have the experience, you cannot get to where you want to go in terms of your career.
Yeah. And could I add one more?
Yes, sure.
Yes. You know, there is this idea. We all say there are no jobs. You know, in Ghana, we don't have jobs, unemployment, and so on. We talk about this a lot. But there are jobs. There are jobs. And we have to look for the jobs. Some jobs are advertised, but some jobs are not advertised. And we, you know, through maybe some internship, through volunteerism, we could identify some jobs and get engaged in. Even for people who want to be entrepreneurs, you could look out for needs in your communities, and then you find out that there is a gap somewhere, which you can create a job to fill. Yeah, so that idea, is true that it's difficult now more than it used to be to find a job, but there are jobs that we can look for. There are entrepreneurship opportunities that we can start on. We could start small, you know. I remember a student came to our office once and was talking about the fact that he's graduated and he doesn't have a job and he's looking for a job and so on. Then I asked him, where do you come from? And then he said he was from he's from the Eastern region, somewhere in the Eastern region. Okay. And I said, okay, what do you have in the Eastern region? And then he talked about land, they have family lands and so on. And I said, you know how expensive pawpaw is in Accra? He said, yes, it's true. And then I said, you know, you could just go and get a few plots in the Eastern region and just, you know, spread some seeds of
just spread it.
Just spread it, because pawpaw grows easily. And then cultivate pawpaw. And when all you need is to get a vehicle that will cart the pawpaw to Accra, and you find people to buy the pawpaw for you. And he was like, oh, he had never thought about that, and he was going to do it. So sometimes we just have to, you know, where it looks as if our minds are blocked and we cannot, you know, think creatively, we can speak with people. And people might help us, you know, to put us on track or to expose certain possibilities to us. Yeah.
You've raised a very important point. I think majority of young people now downplay the power of creativity. You know, I think we have a different concept about creativity when it comes to even our careers. But you mentioned very, very important, you know, key points that need to be considered. You searching for the right jobs, finding lapses in our system, and creating solutions. Because in the course of you creating a solution, you're earning a living for yourself. It might not come as soon as possible. With the guy's situation you mentioned, farming, if you plant, it's going to take a while before you cultivate. But that waiting period is going to give you ideas to, you know, plant other stuff and get into other fields where you can actually charge. So indeed, I mean, that's the very important myth Doc has busted at this point. There are jobs, okay? Don't sit there and say there are no jobs. Find them. I think only 25% of the jobs are advertised.
Okay.
Yes, I read a report by Pearson's on the job market 2020 up until 2030, and it says a few of them are advertised. The rest, you have to find them. The rest comes to you through, just like you mentioned, volunteering, getting into companies just to try things out, because there might not be a job opportunity for you, but in your delivering whatever it is that you think you can deliver, they might be able to create, you know, space for you. And you don't get to that point if you sit back and downplay creativity. Just go creative on every idea you have. You might be studying, you find yourself in uni now, you might be in level 100 right now. This is the right opportunity for you. And let me just stress on the point again that ABSA's Ready-to-Work platform is here to solve all these problems. Okay, we're giving you hands-on experience, hands-on tips on how you can move yourself from where you are now, from just being a steady mate, a class rep or a course rep, into being that great career woman or career guy.
I just want to iterate on something just before you go on. That organizations take experience very critical. especially if you want to work in a multinational or big organizations like ABSA, experience is very, very important. Because sometimes you have graduates, we, for instance, we hardly advertise our roles unless it's senior. And so you get a fresh graduate come to you that I need a job. And you tell them that, oh, I don't have vacancy now, but I have some contract jobs for you. And some just don't want to do it. Forgetting that you need an experience to get to the level that you will be paid. And so trying to build that experience is very, very important. You come out from school and you want to work in a formal sector, yet you send CVs and everything and it's not working. And then an organization tells you that I have a contract job, just so that you can have some experience and then build yourself up. And you just take a stand that I am not taking it if it is not this. So you're just going to remain in the house and then maybe find out, be creative and come up with an idea. And starting entrepreneurship is not as easy as it sounds. Because there's a place that you will hit. And once you don't have the stamina, you can't. And so gaining the experience is very, very important. And I just wanted to reiterate on that.
All right, I like that. So we've talked so much about the preparation phase, things to look out for, getting access to career guidance, choosing the right path and all that. Let's just assume we're in there now, okay? Once I get into my field, and that I'll pick from you, Sylvia, once I get into the field, how do I solidify my grounds on there? I mean, I was picked because I was creative, because I was agile, because I'm able to work, you know, with the team, because I shared experiences that would fit in where I'm supposed to work now. But now that I'm in, how do I move from being just an employed person to be an outstanding career woman or career guy?
Focus.
Okay.
And have a plan. So every organization sets objectives at the beginning of the year. So once you come in, you set objectives, you know your key deliverables, what is required of you. But do you have objectives for yourself? Have you set a personal objectives for yourself? Telling yourself that in this year or in the next 2 years or 3 years, this is where I want to be. And again, I'll go back to doing more research and learning. You need to, when you enter into an organization, you need to also have this humility. Like, I'm humble to learn. I want to draw from people.
The urge to learn.
Yeah, the urge to learn. And you see, when we have our graduate training programs, one of the key things that we look out for will be your ability to learn fast. Your ability and your ability on how you can work in teams is very, very important. So when we bring you in as that agile, smart individual, you have to prove to us that you can learn, and you can learn quickly. And you can only do that when you are humble, because certain people will be threatened. We've brought you as a fresh graduate, and we say you are so good and excellent. So some people will be threatened. If you don't humble, they won't teach you. So you need to draw from people, put it in your baskets, and then when opportunity comes, you are ready.
I think I'll just add a little bit to that. I'm also in the field. Don't let your praises or your wins get into your head. Yes, once you are in the career world, never stop learning. And always let your wins be a challenge to do better. Don't let it get into your head. Oh, she's the only person that can solve network problems, and so when you call her, she'll tell you, oh, I'm on lunch break. I don't work at 3. I don't work after 3. Let it be a challenge. I mean, people are coming to you now at the point you are because you're good at what you do. And in order to become a good and an outstanding career person in whatever field you work, I think you should avoid letting your wins and your successes get into your head. Let it motivate you to do more. You know you're able to solve a problem or find a solution. If 1,000 people are coming to you the next day, you should know they're coming to you because they know you can't solve the problem. Let that be a challenge and be a stepping stone for you to get to a higher milestone in delivering what you have to deliver. We've said so much about all these things. One thing I think we haven't mentioned is coaching tips. Apart from what we get from the counseling and guidance department, the career center, in becoming a good career woman or career guy, I'm told that there comes a point where you have to find a mentor or a coach. How important are coaching tips and mentorship in moving people from being just regular learners into becoming career gurus or mastering their career in the journey of their life?
Well, Yes, mentorship or mentoring is very important. Having a coach in life or having a mentor in life as you progress through your career path is very important and very helpful. You could find a mentor in your educational institution. You could find a mentor wherever you find the opportunity to do internship. You could find a mentor, could even be a family member.
Yes.
Yeah. So what happens if you have a mentor is that you have somebody to understudy somehow, someone who has gone through the experience that you are yet to go through, and therefore is able to already inform you about what to expect. And so you become better prepared for that experience. That is what mentoring does. And you also have the opportunity to learn from the person's challenges. When you have a mentor, the mentor has his or her network of people, he or she works with. And so as you align yourself to this mentor, it could also be a chance for you to meet other people in that network. And so you're already getting exposed to a team of people in the career field that you are intending to get into. So those are some of the good things you get by having a mentor. The mentor also is able to identify some of your strengths that you may not be aware of, and might use that relationship to inform you about them, and then you get the opportunity to develop those strengths for the future. Yes.
Sylvia, would you add something?
Yes, so coaching is very, very important. I think in our organization, we take coaching seriously. We try to empower our people managers or our line managers to have that coaching skills, because it's coaching, that person has been or has had that experience and is able to direct you as to what to do to get to your destination. When it comes to mentoring, it's a little deeper, and we add even sponsorship, because now we are seeing mentors to actually sponsor some of their mentees. Just because you've had that level of discussions and understanding, and he also knows you very well, he's able to recommend you or sponsor you, and it can uplift your career. So mentoring and coaching is very critical for everyone to have.
All right, thank you so much, Sylvia. Now we'll take a quick break. Right after that, I will read your questions. If you have any question, kindly drop it in the comment box. The team will pick it up and serve it to me right here. But when we come back, we've said so much. They just shared very important tips on why we need mentorship in our career journey, why we need coaching tips in our career journey. But how do I find the right coach and the right mentor? We'll check all that out right after this.
Everyday life. Everyday life.
All right, welcome back. You're still watching Ready to Work, powered by ABSA. Before the commercial break, we had a conversation about the importance of having mentorship in your career journey. But at this point, I want to find out from my guests, what makes a good mentor, or what should I look out for when picking a mentor?
Yeah. So first of all, if you are a student,
Okay.
it might not be very easy to pick a mentor by yourself. You might need to have that done maybe through the counseling center, for instance, or your department, if they have those kinds of arrangements. So what I'm trying to say is that some of these centers, like the counseling center in a university or an institution, or some departments already have formalized arrangements with people who are interested in mentoring young people. So you could go through that kind of channel, and then you are quite sure that you are meeting the right person. The other way would be that you make yourself available to be engaged in some of the programs that would expose you to people who are ready to offer mentorship. For instance, you have a career week where we have people coming in from industry. Some of them are already ready or prepared to engage with students or young people as mentors. And so, but the good thing to do is to make sure that if you are entering that kind of mentoring relationship, it should be formalized. It shouldn't just be a casual thing.
It should take a form.
It should take a form, meaning that the mentor understands what he or she is expected to do, and you as a mentee also knows what to do. So it's like a contract, and then you all approach it, very seriously. If you go onto the net, there are some people too who are interested, in engaging with young people as mentors. But it's just that we need to be very careful about some of these, so that you don't throw yourself into the hands of people who would want to take advantage of you. Exactly. So seek advice as you get into a mentorship relationship.
Just so you don't fall in the circles of conmen.
Yeah.
There are some who pose as if they've really conquered the industry, but then you get close to them and then you find out they might end up even giving you the wrong tips.
Exactly.
But just so you build a right career journey, you ensure that you seek the right advice on choosing who becomes your mentor. And of course, finding the right ways to which, so you don't go chasing your mentor, your probable mentor, into thinking you're too desperate. Find the right ways to get things done. Sylvia, would you like to add anything?
Yes, and when you have internships to try and form relationships, if there's somebody there that you find very knowledgeable and experienced in the space that you want to go into, you form that relationship and that person can also mentor you.
You just draw the line between finding a professional relationship and then making sure you don't mix both. You like someone being a leader, you've identified skills the person possesses that you like to also possess. You build a professional relationship, keep it strictly professional, and make sure you don't mix things so you don't get confused along the line. Now, I have a question.
May I just add one thing?
Sure.
Now, if you are a young person who is interested in going into that kind of relationship as a mentee, please don't go in with the mind of seeking for money, because that turns some mentors away. And that is not the understanding. You are not going there because you want somebody to help you financially. That shouldn't be the main reason why you are going into that mentorship relationship. That begins to spoil the whole arrangement.
They will turn your mentor off. They will stop picking your call. And they will tell their secretaries they are not in the office when you show up. It will go a long way to slow your career down. Now, I have two questions from our viewers, but before we get into that, Faustina Adani watching us on Facebook says, very insightful and interesting conversation. James Afode says, in-depth analysis information, good work, APSA. We'll take Kwame Thomas says, I want to know how APSA runs your mobile banking. I think the team will, give you the answer on that directly. Very inspiring, and I'm now learning a lot. Thanks to APSA. Benjamin Kujo Newman. So, two questions. First one, I think, will be for Sylvia. Enoch Kasune wants to know, how do you keep your feelings separate from your decision making? How do you keep your feelings separate from your decision making? Or how do you not let your feelings take over the right decisions in your career journey? I think it's a very interesting question.
Very interesting. And I mean, some people feel, oh, because I feel this way means this will work for me. As much as possible, you don't bring in your feelings when you're making certain long-term decisions for yourself. You should be facts, and that is why I mentioned the research. The research is very important, and having a plan in place, because I think we normally stress on having a career plan, even yearly, because we know that sometimes feelings can come in. And you speak to people that, I have people in our organization that wanted to be lawyers. And when they joined, we put them in our operations police, and they are still working in operations. We have people in our branches that feel that because I'm in the branch, I should grow within the branch space. So the key to their career growth, it has dropped because they think that I have to go to sales and I have to go here. So as much as possible, you don't bring in your feelings, and you can overcome that when you put in an accurate plan. And when you have a plan and you do a research, it keeps you focused and feelings don't come in. So you go back, when the feeling is setting in, you go back to your paper or you go back to your tablet, it tells you that we are still supposed, we are on this journey and we have to continue.
All right, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Now this question is from Asiama Kujo. Asiama Kujo says, is the career guidance department in Ligon open to the public?
Just so I don't forget what I wanted to say in addition to... Yes, so sometimes I agree that you have to take your decisions from an informed perspective, and then having done your plan and so on. So it means that you must have considered your abilities, your values, all those things, your interests, your personality. You must have considered all those in making your plans. But if the feelings still come, and that is where the counseling will come in, you may want to find out why these feelings are coming. Where is it coming from? What might have happened in my background that would be informing me this way? And that is where you seek counseling for that to be addressed. Then you will know whether you should continue with your plan or you should change it. So I just wanted to...
Thank you. Thank you.
Now the question.
Career counseling guidance.
Yes, is it open to the public? Yes, we don't turn away people from outside. Our main focus is on students and staff of the university. But if you need help, you are welcome to come, and we'll be happy to help you.
All right.
Yes, whatever it is. We can also refer. We don't handle everything, because if we know that there is somebody somewhere else whom we could direct you to, we could refer. And of course, we have our collaborators we are working with, and like APSA. And if we realize it's something that they would help, with better, then we refer.
All right. So in your journey on Ready to Work, I mean, Docs just confirmed, if you need guidance on any decision, fine, you have a plan. Your plan was informed by your interests, your abilities, the goals you had and all that. You set it all on paper. You set it all on a plan. But if at some point you have a strange feeling about something you're doing, there might be a cost to that. Maybe something on the drawing board needs to be changed. So that's where counseling comes in, but you need expert advice. So just like Doctor said, seek expert advice on that. And if you are on the Ready to Work platform, we collaborate with UG's Counseling and Guidance Department, so we can find the right answers for you on there as well. Final question before you go. How long do you have to work for an organization before you move to another? At the end of the day, it's more money we are all looking for. I don't know why the person added this, but thank you so much. Money is always the motivation at some point. But how long do you have to work with a company before you move to another? So
we are looking for money, but we are also looking for sense of fulfillment. And that is in the subconscious mind. So sometimes we feel it's all about the money. It's when you get to a certain stage in your career that money becomes really important. But from a fresh graduate perspective, yes, you want the money, but fulfillment is in there. And when you do a deep dive, you will see that you need fulfillment. And so I just wanted to make that clear. Ideally, organizations would spend most of the time 6 months, you're on probation. The rest of the 6 months, we are trying to, draw from you and then you get to the 1 year. And so we used to do a year, we used to do 18 months, but now we do a year, and from a year you can move to the next job. But as a graduate, you need to be careful, because if you're jumping from one role or one organization to another organization within a year, it might affect you.
I feel you don't even master.
You don't master, yes, because you are you are at the learning stage, and so why are you just jumping all over? So ideally, spend 3 years, maximum of like 5 years, so you gain more experience, get to understand the culture within organizations, within the industry, and then you can move on.
You might just master it.
Yeah.
Yes, and that leads to growth, actually.
Yeah.
And one thing we look out for, I believe, in the industry or the workplace is loyalty.
Yeah.
You know, loyalty from the employee, loyalty to the company's goals and expectations, and also loyalty to your career plan.
Yeah.
So these two should be held
Hand in hand, yeah.
exactly hand in hand, and that would inform you. That would help in informing you as to how long you can be with a particular organization.
Thank you so much for bringing the loyalty bit up. On my side as well, I mean, the little bit I would like to add to this is, if you go in for a job, before you are picked, the company looks at the long-term benefits they can gain from you. So you're building a plan with them. You guys are on a journey. They are helping you, you're helping them. And so you might want to consider these things. What was the agreement? What was the conversation you had with them? Did you tell them in the interview that you're willing to develop new skills? Are you in the process of developing new solutions for the company? Have you looked at your position and the impact you have on the company? You are occupying a very vital role in the company right now. You are in the middle of a project, and the project needs to be done so that your ideologies can, take shape in reality. Then you decide, you know what, because of money, Charlie, another job is giving me the opportunity, so let me go. And then let the process I was in, or whatever it is that I was working on, stall. No, you don't become a master when you do that. Finish your plans, just like she said. Be loyal to your goal, be loyal to yourself, and then your company. Of course, this is when all other things are equal. When things are fine, I'm not saying when the company is giving you mafia, you should. That one is different.
It's different.
But even with that, you see career, expert career advice, and then you make the right decisions. But know your plan and know where you find yourself. Thank you so much, everyone out there, for spending time with us this morning. It's been a very interesting journey today. I wish we could really answer some of the questions, but the rest will be tackled by the team. Ready to Work. They're ever ready to help you make things happen. So my guest this morning, Reverend Dr. Mrs. Bridget Benama, is a counseling and director at the University of Ghana Career Counseling Center. Ms. Sylvia Mbama is a talent acquisition expert who is very passionate about youth development. I think, Doc, social media, in case people want to get in touch with you, are you familiar with Twitter, Facebook, Instagram?
Yes, we are on Facebook.
On Facebook.
Yeah, we are on Instagram.
Okay.
Our YouTube has also been activated.
Right.
Yeah, so all the social media. It's Twitter that we have a problem with, but we are working on it. Yeah, and then, of course, yes.
Thank you guys so much. Thank you so much, Sylvia. I can't stop saying thank you. You are part of the team that's putting all this together. But if you're home now and you'd like to take advantage of the Ready to Work platform, let me tell you what it's all about. It's a program that provides materials. It helps young people develop their work, people, money, and entrepreneurial skills. We're basically just moving you from one step to the next in your journey. It's an online training tool which offers members flexibility to choose the right path and pace to complete their modules, at their own convenience. We've done like a whole year of it already, and this year promises to be better. We're introducing new platforms on there to make it better. Now, the link is www.readytowork.absa.africa. Kindly log on to the portal now and complete the modules. The Ready to Work platform has been developed. The app has also been developed for easy access, and so make sure you download it. Go to the Google Play Store, Huawei Play Store, Apple App Store. Get it on iOS, Android, and Huawei, and make sure you get in touch with us. Finally, if you have any comments you'd like to share your experience on the Ready to Work platform, kindly upload a 30-second video on it. Make sure you tag ABSA Ghana across all platforms and stay in touch. We'll definitely catch you on the next one. Thank you so much, Doc. Thank you, Sylvia. And thank you at home for making time with us. My name is Rev Eskin. Good morning.
Good morning.
everyday life. Oh.